Ladies and gentlemen, if you own this car, then definitely it can be stolen within a second. Guys, welcome to Millionaire Online. Now today we are going to talk about the top cars that are being stolen in Kenya at a very high rate. Today, of course, we are going to look at the 5 top cars. So guys, why are these cars being stolen at a very high rate in Kenya? Kumbuka kwamba Wakenya wengi wako na Toyota. And you get that there's this saying that the car in front of you is always a Toyota. And basically Wakenya wengi, you know, wako na hizi magari za Toyota. And that means that there's a very high demand of spare parts. And kumbuka that most Kenyans wananunua cars that have been used abroad. And that means that after a few years, they will need to replace a part or two. That creates a demand for spare parts. And of course, people will need to supply these spare parts. Of course, there are people who, you know, get these spare parts from abroad. Some are ex-Japan, but there are those people that wanazipata in you know, hizi manjia ambazo si legal. Guys, the car in front of you is always a Toyota, and our first car is the Toyota Premio. Now, this Toyota Premio, you know, it comes at 1500cc, 1800cc, and of course 2000cc. Now, this car, it is fuel efficient, reliable, and of course, it is durable according to international standards. And of course, when a car is iko na hizo characteristics, then definitely the demand goes high. And if the demand goes high, it creates a gap for, you know, supply of spare parts. At one point or the other, it will be to replace a spare part. And Toyota Premium being a car that people own, watu wengi, inamaanisha that biashara ya spare parts is a booming business. And that is why you need to be very careful when you have this car. Put an extra security, because remember this, if these cars are stolen, you won't get them anywhere on the roads. Ziko mahali zimekatwa and they are being sold as spare parts. So definitely gari yako utapata iko kwa kila magari. Guys, the car number 2 is also a Toyota. Of course, gari za Toyota ukiwa nazo ni kade msupu. So watu wakiziona pale kwa barabara, lazima ataongeleshwa. So guys, our third car is the Toyota Allion. Remember that Toyota Allion is exactly the same as the Toyota Premium. They have different names, but ni gari ambazo zinafanana. Toyota Premium and Toyota Allion ni gari ambazo zinauzwa by Toyota with a different name, but they are the same car. And that means that spare parts ziko interchangeable. Kama gari ya Toyota Premium inaibiwa, then definitely Allion ambayo ni sister yake pia ataibiwa kwa sana. Guys, our third car is not a Toyota. Remember that Kenyans all over, you know, over the years wamekuwa wakitumia other cars, wamekuwa wakijaribu other cars, and one of those cars is the Mazda Demio. What wamepata that Mazda Demio is also reliable, it is fuel efficient, and of course, unajua imekuwa ikitumika sana for Uber, and so a lot of people have been buying it for that business. And that means that pia spare parts, demand ya spare parts pia inaenda juu. And that is why you get that ukiwa na hii gari, pia you need to be very careful. And remember that the recent models za Mazda Demio zimekuwa zinakaa poa sana. And of course zina attract watu. So inamaanisha when you need a spare part, you'll get it readily available in the market. And people need to supply these spare parts. Now, another car is the Mazda Axela. Many times unapata ukiwa kwa ile Toyota Passo yako, probably inaitwaje, Suzuki Alto, you get there's a car hapo in front of you called Mazda Axela. Always very classy, sexy if you may, and also unapata ni gari ambayo ni attractive, and everybody will want to own Mazda Axela because of these factors. That also creates a demand ya spare parts, and of course kama ukikaa mbaya gari yako itaenda, and of course people will be sold your car kama spare parts. And so our fourth car is the Mazda Axela. If you want to know more about how to protect your car, stay tuned. Before the end of this video, utakuwa umejua. Our next car is the Honda CR-V, and this car is an SUV, and of course in a compete na Outlander Raffle. Now, what is good about this car? Remember that this car, according to safety ratings, is at 80%. that means that it's a very safe car. It's also fuel efficient, and of course it is reliable. And that means that it is also expensive. The spare parts are also expensive. And unajua watu wanafanya hizi biashara wakiona that a car is expensive, spare parts zake inamaanisha watakuwa na morali ya kusupply hizo, kuiba gari kama hizo, so that they supply these spare parts, because of the fact that these spare parts they are a bit expensive in the local market. Ladies and gentlemen, wacha turudi kwa watu wa Toyota. Now this car is Toyota Fielder, and Toyota Fielder has been, you know, miaka mingi imekuwa na hiyo reputation ya kuwa it is being stolen at a very high rate. Now Toyota Fielder, remember that recently kuna zile Toyota Fielder hybrid, but kuna ile Toyota Fielder yenye iko na mataa pale kwa boot, you know, ile Toyota Fielder ambayo tumezoea. Hii Toyota Fielder, if you have it, be rest assured that kuna watu wanaimezea mate, and if they get it wataenda nayo. But for you to be safe for now, that is before watu wanunue hizi hybrid, you need to own kama lazima uko na Toyota Fielder, you are safer ukiwa na ile Toyota Fielder hybrid, because definitely, you know, bado demand yake haiko high, so demand ya spare parts bado, so you know, watu hawatataka kuiba gari ambayo watakaa na spare parts kwa store for almost 1 year. They won't do that. Ladies and gentlemen, imefika ile time that I have to tell you what to do to make your car safe, na ukiwa nayo at least ikae miaka kadhaa bila mtu kuiba gari yako. So what are these steps? So the first thing you need to do is kuweka gari yako tracker. And not only one tracker, you need to put at least 2, ama kama wewe ni mtu unajiweza, put 3. Remember that ule jamaa anakuuzia tracker should not install that tracker for you, na hafai kujua hiyo tracker iko wapi, because hao ndio they end up fixing people, and you get that wanaambia those people wenye watakuja kuiba gari yako that this tracker is here, and when they come wanakata tracker, wana shanga gari yako, you can't see it pale kwa tracking, and definitely of course utapata gari yako ishauzwa and spare parts zinauzwa kwa market. You need to make sure that you have at least 3 trackers, so that when one fails, the other one can pick up. And remember that magari mingi ambazo zimekuwa hivyo, most of the time unapata zikiibwa, the chances hizo gari kupatikana is high, because tracker moja imezimwa, the other one inapatikana, and of course hiyo ingine pia ikiwa noma, the third one inapatikana. Of course, for this security you need to invest your money to make sure that your car is safe. Another thing is to make sure that ile tracker una install iko na kitu inaitwa anti-jammer. Now what does this anti-jammer do? Hawa watu wanaiba magari zenyu, when they come steal your car, kuna wale wenye, you know, they are a bit sophisticated, wanakuja na kitu inaitwa jammer. What does this jammer do? So pale kwa gari yako as in the jammer interferes with your tracking device. It means that it won't operate normally. So if you have a tracker that has anti-jammer, the jammers won't work in that car, and of course you'll get that tracker yako ina work, you know, normally. Now another thing, ladies and gentlemen, is kuinvest kwa cutout. Remember that ule mwizi akikuja na is not able to start that car, it means that kama he has to steal from that car, itabidi aibe that car from wherever it is, and akona hiyo time kweli. So guys, we have come to the end of this video. Make sure you like, you subscribe, and of course leave me a comment, and of course your experiences about such issues.